Shalawam, sisters, all praises to the Most High. The water so much for watching my videos. So a sister asked a sincere question. She said, "Hey sis, if you can or haven't already, can you make a video about your birthing experience and staying separate while unclean?" I haven't made a video about my birthing experience, but I have made videos about staying separate while unclean. So I'll just touch base with those topics, and I guess we can jump into it. So with my firstborn son, unfortunately, I gave in and got an epidural because I just couldn't take the contractions. I couldn't take labor anymore. I was just like, somebody please help me. Somebody please give me an epidural. So I ended up giving in and getting one, and I wish that I didn't. And if I could go back in time, I would. But everything happens for a reason. I feel like the epidural really slowed down the labor. I was in labor for almost like 13 hours. And it shouldn't have been that long. I feel like if I would have never got it, he would have already came. But I feel like the epidural slowed my labor down, and they had to break my water for me. Like, I just wanted things to be natural, but it didn't. The epidural really did slow the whole process down. And even after the epidural, I remember my back hurt so freaking bad. But while I had my daughter, it was a natural delivery. Just like my son, natural, regular. I didn't have a C-section or anything. Natural delivery. And they told me, oh, you might need a C-section for your second baby. And I said, no, I don't. Like, I'm not getting, nobody's cutting my stomach open and telling me that I need a C-section. I'm going to give birth to this baby just like I did my first baby. And I really think I forgot where I learned it from, but that's how they make money. They can make money off of C-sections. And that's how Eve, if you read a lot of stories, you'll see that a lot of us pass away after we get C-sections because they don't properly take care of us afterwards. So I said, no, I'm not getting a C-section. So I delivered my daughter without any medicine, nothing at all. Labor was quick, easy. I was in labor for not even an hour, and she came. So everything just happened just so naturally, and it was fast. And with my birthing experience with my daughter, I really wanted to, even with my son, I really wanted to just kneel. I really wanted to just kneel and just push her out. But the doctor kept saying, if you don't get back on that bed, you're really going to hurt that baby. You don't understand what you're doing. But I'm like, I truly felt in my spirit that I should have been kneeling for some reason. Just laying on a bed giving birth just didn't make me feel comfortable. And they kept telling me, a lot of times these doctors really don't know what they be talking about. She kept telling me the baby's not coming. But I'm telling her my baby is coming. You only 6 centimeters dilated. I'm like, I don't care what you saying. My baby is coming. And she literally, everybody is taking their time. They think that since I'm only 6 centimeters dilated, that my daughter wasn't coming. They turn around. Her head is coming. She's coming out. I didn't even say nothing. I just started pushing her out on my own because I just felt like a lot of times these doctors really don't know what they're talking about. And the doctor going to turn around, talk about something. Oh, she's coming. Yeah, you should have listened to me. And that's the thing. They don't take us serious when it comes to delivery. They think we so extra, so-called black women and, Latino women. They think that we so extra when we giving birth. When no, we tell you that something is wrong, something is wrong. So if you feel like something is wrong, you need to scream to the top of your lungs and let people know, hey, I don't feel good. I feel like I'm about to die. Somebody help me. Whatever it is that you may be feeling while you're giving birth, let somebody know what's going on. Somebody always need their mother in a delivery room or even afterwards, because your mom get people straight real quick. She be like, look, bring somebody in here. Somebody, you know how we do. You know how we get down when we protect our children. We want to make sure everything is going right. So delivery is so important. You always want to make sure you're going to have somebody there to really be by your side and down for you, because these doctors don't care about us at the end of the day. And let me just show you why. So I was looking this up. I'll get into the epidural later. But this is an article that says, and it was published February 2019. Why are black women at such a high risk from dying from pregnancy complications? Why? Because they don't listen to us. They don't care about us. They don't care about our babies. They, would rather see us dead. They don't want us to reproduce. That's why they always telling us to get abortions. So they truly don't care about us. So anyway, okay. It says Salakia. So anyway, it says right here, I'm gonna just skim through it. It says black women are 3 to 4 times more likely to die from pregnancy-related causes than white women, according to the Center of Disease Control and Prevention. It's partially why the overall rate of pregnancy-related deaths have climbed over the past 2 decades, making the maternal mortality rate in the United States the worst in any industrialized country, according to a 2016 analysis. And think about that. Let's really meditate on that. America is supposed to be so great, have one of the, the best technology, the best doctors, the best education system. But why are we dying while we're giving birth? They don't care about us. Okay, so let's see what they say. It says it's basically a public health and human rights emergency. See, they're saying it's an emergency because it's been estimated that a significant portion of these deaths could be prevented. And you know how it could be prevented? If they actually listened to us when we said that either we about to give birth or we feel like we about to die or we in pain. And it said Dr. Anna Langer, director of the Women in Health Initiative at the Harvard T.H. Chan School of Public Health in Boston. The reasons behind the racial disparities are many and complex, she said. Lack of access and poor quality of care are leading factors, particularly among women at lower socioeconomic levels. All right, well, I guess I can see that for some black women having, but usually when we pregnant, we really take care of ourselves. I can say that for like my generation. I don't know about like the girls younger than me that's in the world, but we tend to take care of ourselves, while we pregnant. Yeah, we're gonna have our cravings and stuff, but we always gonna make sure, we eat some greens, fruit. So anyway, it says, I'm gonna just skip. Oh, it says, that's what happened to Williams when she experienced a pulmonary embolism a day after giving birth to her daughter via cesarean section. So look, she probably didn't even need a C-section, but they gave her a C-section anyway. Williams was gasping for breath and recognized the blood clots were blocking one or more of her arteries in her lungs. C-sections are not natural. If they tell you need a C-section, look, really pray about it, meditate on it, think about it. You don't need to look. That's just, to me, it just doesn't sit right with my spirit. They don't care about us. Like, you got to really, really think about it. Say, you know what? Have enough faith in the Most High that He will help you deliver your baby vaginally. Okay? Because that's exactly what I did. All right? I don't have time to listen to them telling me I need a C-section. So anyway, because of my medical history with this problem, I live in fear of this situation, she wrote in an essay about the issue last February. So when I felt short of breath, I didn't wait a second to alert nurses. See, look, she said she didn't wait a second to alert nurses. But sometimes if you live in the hood and you going to Mercy Hospital or you going to a hospital, where you know that they not really going to care about you, whatever hospital it is in your city, if you go there, they're going to be like, okay, we'll be in there in a second. Everything's okay. They don't care. That's why you got to cause a scene. That's why you need somebody to be in there and be like, look, somebody bring, you got to, look, your life is in danger, so you got to cause a scene. Don't be playing games with these doctors and these people because they don't know what's going on and they don't care. It says, but medical employees, and look, there you go. And look, this article is about Serena Williams. But I think so. Yeah, I think it is. But medical employees initially dismissed her concerns, wasting crucial time before her diagnosis and the treatment she specifically requested. Williams' story illustrates the biggest problem facing Black women. Even they are successful and affluent, said Dr. Allison Bryant Martha, Vice Chair of Quality, Equity, and Safety in the the obstetrics and gynecology department of Massachusetts General Hospital in Boston. It says she said racism affects so many things before the patient even gets to the clinical encounter. She said both implicit bias and structural racism affect how many women are cared for in the healthcare system. Now, I would like to say when I had gave birth to my daughter, I had to give birth to her in the operating room because they said, oh, it ain't no more rooms. There's no more rooms. I'm like, whatever. So I gave birth to my daughter in the damn operating room. And it's funny because now that I think about it, it's because they told me that I needed to have a C-section. And it was like I didn't even have a C-section in the operating room. I gave birth. So there you go, because I trusted in the Most High. I don't put my trust, just like any woman watching this, you should never put your trust in man. You should always put your trust in the Most High. So she also said the cards are stacked against them once they enter that system. She said, pointing to the report, Unequal Treatment, Confronting Racial and Ethnic Disparities in Healthcare, published by Division of the National Academy of Sciences. And also it says, last summer, Beyonce revealed she had an experience with toxemia, also known as preeclampsia, while she was pregnant with her twins. The condition left her entire body swollen, and she was confined to bed rest for more than a month before she had an emergency C-section. All right, well, look, we pretty much just showed that even if you have money like Serena Williams and Beyonce, they still don't care. It's like they still don't care. It's really unfortunate. And let me get into why I say that you shouldn't get an epidural. Let's look at the side effects. First, let's look at the side effects, Salakia, on the newborns. Let's look and see what the what's this? The American Pregnancy.org has to say. The benefits and risks. And look, the only benefit is that you feel a little better. It takes some pain away. So epidural is the most popular method of pain relief during labor. Women request an epidural by name more than any other method of pain relief. More than 50% of women giving birth at hospitals use epidural anesthesia. As you prepare yourself for Labor Day, try to learn as much as possible about pain relief options so that you will be better prepared to make decisions during the labor and birth process. Understanding the different types of epidurals, how they are administered, and their benefits and risk will help you will help you in your decision making during the course of labor and delivery. Oh my gosh, all these text messages. So it says epidural blocks pain in a particular region of the body. The goal of an epidural is to provide, what is this? So pretty much just, epidural just stops the pain in the lower half of your body. And it says that they're offered delivered in a combination with opioids and narcotics, such as fentanyl, and what is this, sulfentanyl, in order to decrease the required dose of the local anesthetic. And then they give it to you in your back. Okay, look, they not getting down to the... Okay, here go the benefits. Allows you to rest if your labor is prolonged. And it prolongs your labor. That's why you can rest. You sit down watching, you can watch a whole series of a TV show. It says by reducing the discomfort. You can read the whole book of Isaiah if you get an epidural. That's how long you're going to be in labor. It says by reducing the discomfort of childbirth, some women have a more positive birth experience. Okay. Normally, an epidural will allow you to stay alerted and remain an active participant. in your birth. If you deliver by cesarean, and epidural anesthesia will allow you to stay awake and also provide effective pain relief during recovery. When other types of coping mechanisms are no longer helping, an epidural can help you deal with exhaustion, irritability, and fatigue. Look, we're not even going to look at all the benefits because I just don't want nobody to get an epidural. Let's look at the risk. Let's get down to it. Epidurals may cause your blood pressure to suddenly drop. For this reason, your blood pressure will be routinely checked to help ensure an adequate blood flow to your baby. If there is a sudden drop in blood pressure, you may need to be treated with IV fluids, medications, and oxygen. And they also, when you get an epidural, I don't know about y'all sisters, but let me know y'all experience afterwards, like how you felt afterwards. I remember they even had to hook me up to catheter. I couldn't even get up to go to the bathroom. Back was hurting. Anyway, it says you may experience a severe headache caused by leakage of spinal fluid. Less than 1% of women experience the side effect. If symptoms persist, a procedure called blood patch, which is an injection in your blood into the epidural space, can be performed to relieve a headache. And then it says, after your epidural is placed, you will need to alternate sides while laying in your bed. Have continuous monitoring. Hold on, it's lucky I'm doing something. Look, it says you might have shivering, the ringing of the ears, backache, soreness where the needle is inserted, nausea, and a difficulty urinating. You might find that your epidural makes pushing more difficult, and additional medications or interventions may be needed, such as forceps or cesarean. Talk to your doctor when creating your birth plan about the interventions he or she would generally use in such cases. So what else? For a few hours after the birth, the lower half of your body will feel numb. Oh, I remember I couldn't even get up. I had to have 2 women help me get up out of my bed to put me in a wheelchair. I couldn't even walk. In rare instances, permanent nerve damage may result in the area where the catheter was inserted. And I remember it was months after I gave birth, like my back was hurting so bad, just randomly out of nowhere, just sharp pains in my back. And it says, the research is somewhat ambiguous. Most studies suggest that some babies will have trouble latching on, causing breastfeeding difficulties. Other studies suggest that baby might experience respiratory depression, fetal malpositioning, and an increase in fetal heart rate. And then look, it also says that they can use forceps in a vacuum and cesarean, thus increasing the need for it. So if you get an epidural, you increase the need for them to use a vacuum because it slows down your labor. To give you a C-section. Like what? You don't need that. You don't need a C-section. You do not need a C-section. And you don't need an epidural. So let's move on to the next topic, y'all. I'm sorry if I took so long on that topic. Hold on. Now, if you really wanted to, if you knew like a midwife, which I wish I knew one, Lord willing, I may run into one. You never know, man. It's going to the Lord. Or you may run into one. I feel like I would be comfortable having my baby at home, to be honest. With a midwife. So I can do what I want to do. So I don't have nobody getting on my nerves. Also, so let's get into it. Delivery in the ancient world. Hey! Yo, I'm sorry. It's this case on his phone. Let's look at the images. Okay, here we go right here. Mommy. Salakia, I'm on the phone, please. I didn't put it on board. Okay, it's okay. Go play with him. So look at this. Birth in the ancient world. the woman is on a stool and kneeling down. And that's how I felt naturally, like how I felt like I should have had my daughter and my son kneeling down. Sitting down. Look, they're sitting down. It looked like they got, look at them. They got afros. She had somebody holding her chest up. Because this looked like this probably not her second baby. I mean, her first baby. You know how it get. So holding her, helping her sit up. She delivering a baby. Look at them. That's the same one. She's sitting down while giving birth. Look, I thought I found more. Look, she's kneeling. She's kneeling down while giving birth. She's not laying on her back. Obviously, she has two people supporting her up. So look, I feel like do what makes you comfortable. She's clearly sitting down while giving birth. But now all of a sudden you can't do that. Now all of a sudden you're gonna harm your baby. Clearly we were born. We still here. Ain't nothing was wrong with that. But yeah, that's pretty much it. We gave birth sitting down on stools. And I think it's a scripture for that. Hold on. Okay, so just like I showed y'all in the previous pictures that obviously in the ancient world we gave birth upon stools, but here's an actual scripture to prove that. It's Exodus 1:16. And this is when Pharaoh wanted to, he told the midwives, the Israelite midwives, to kill the firstborn sons because he didn't want, us to rise up against the Egyptian army. So he said, and seed them upon their stools. So there's the facts right there. Upon the stools. We gave birth on stools. We didn't give birth on our backs. And I really feel like that changed because Esau just came up with their own stuff saying why they feel like, oh, you shouldn't do it like that anymore. Because I would just feel like they Satan. Like naturally, I feel like you should be giving birth by squatting on a stool. It just makes more sense. Okay, so now we're about to get into being unclean after the birthing process. All right, so here we go right here. Aaron, the Lord spoken to Moses and Aaron and pretty much told us how to deal with being unclean after we gave birth. All right, and I did this both of the times I was pregnant. Yeah, I think I did it with my son. Even though for some reason I feel like I can't remember with him, but I'm pretty sure I did stay separate. But it says, I ain't gonna read the whole scripture. So pretty much, if you're pregnant with a boy and after you give birth, you'll be unclean for 33 days. And if you have a girl, you'll be unclean 66 days. Yeah, for a boy 33 days and for a girl 66 days. And it's not that hard. It's actually, just staying separate while you unclean. Not unless look, anything is possible. Even if you got to stay on the bed and your husband stay on the couch, or you get another mat, or your husband get a cot, or whatever it may be. Or if y'all got a separate room in the house, or anywhere your husband could stay while you trying to heal and take care of the baby, y'all have to be unclean. And you just have to, that's just the law. There's no getting around it. You just got to be, you just got to remain unclean. Even if your period, and this goes into your period too, even if your period or you're bleeding from after having your baby stops early, you still unclean until the Most High said that you clean. So even if, just like how the law says that you have to be unclean and put away for 7 days during your cycle, your menstruation cycle, you still have to be put away 7 days. It doesn't matter if your period only lasts 3 days. You still have to do it according to the law. And for some women, can actually, have multiple bathrooms in their house, or, their husband can use one bathroom and you can use the other bathroom and your kids can use another bathroom, or they can still use, you can figure it out. You can work it out to where you remain unclean in separation to the best of your ability. And it's not hard. It shouldn't be really grievous. And I understand, like how it was for me when my husband and I first had my son. We was in a 1-bedroom apartment, and I was thinking like I felt dirty after I got out. Like even if we had to take showers, even when we took showers when I was unclean, I felt dirty when I got out the shower. Like, just clean the shower when you get out, just so your husband won't step on your uncleanliness, even though it's washed away with the water. But just use a little bit of Ajax, let it sit, just scrub it. You know how we like letting Ajax sit, let it scrub it, and then just move on with your day. Or spray a little bleach on a toilet seat, have your little Clorox wipes around the house. And after I had my daughter, because we didn't move into our house until after we had both of our children. So I had a little blanket that I would bring around everywhere, and I would just sit on that blanket to try to remain unclean. So I wasn't sitting on everything, making just everything unclean, even though everything I touched was pretty much unclean. But Lord willing, the Most High just see that you practicing and rehearsing a righteous acts to the best of your ability, because a lot of the times we don't have that opportunity to be 100% separate from while being unclean. But all we can do is try and continue to strive for perfection. And it's also important to remain separated too, is because when you unclean, you have spirits on you. You can have spirits on you, and you know that when you get your period, you like, look, you wondering why you mad, you got attitude, because when you unclean, spirits can come into you too. So the whole time that you unclean with your children, after giving birth to your children, you're going to have spirits on you. You're going to be mad at your husband because you feel like he not doing this right, he not doing that right. You're going to be tired because you up with the baby. You wondering why he can't help you because he in a whole different room, or you unclean. So you really just got to stay strong spiritually while you are unclean, so you can still keep the peace in your house, because them spirits going to try to, attack you while you unclean. So, that's pretty much it. One more thing that I wanted to bring up was vaccines pushed after delivery. How you say no? Based off of my experience, they will push stuff on you. Sometimes they won't even tell you that they gave your child a vaccine. So you have to be on them and say, you know what, respectfully, even before you give birth, say, you know what, I decline to give my child this vitamin K shot. Why? Because it has aluminum in it. And I trust in the Most High that my child will be okay. You got to say it's my quote unquote religious beliefs. So sign whatever papers. Once you pick your hospital out, sign whatever papers that you need to get through to sign before you even give birth. Because let me tell you something, you don't want to deal with it after you had a baby, because you're going to be ready to punch somebody in the stomach, punch somebody in the mouth, because they're going to keep asking you and they're going to harass you and they're going to make you feel bad. Look, you don't have time for all of that. Just get it over with before you go in the delivery room and let them know, I'm not giving my babies vaccines right now. And they don't need to even know why. You could just say, look, I looked up what's in the vaccine and I found that it wasn't safe for my child. Don't let everybody just be walking away with your child. Ask them what you doing, where you going. If you got a son, that actually got her son circumcised on the 8th day. She found like a little clinic and they did it. And try to be in a room too. Try to be in a room. Okay? Because you don't know what these weirdos be doing and what they up to. You got a newborn baby that you need to protect. And so anyway, with that being said, sisters, giving birth is so serious. It's a very spiritual thing. You need to be as strong as you can be possible. You need to make sure you have a good support team with you, somebody that loves you and cares about you, because it's important, because these doctors do not care about us. Okay? You better ask a group of brothers or your husband, look, can y'all fast for me before I give birth? That's very important, Because you need to make sure that you right spiritually. You need to make sure that people going to be on your team. You know, look, giving birth is just not a joke. It's not just, oh, I get to dress my baby up in cute clothes. No, it's serious. It's a life or death situation. Especially now, we just read that. We just read that in the beginning of this video. So, you know, just stay prayed up and ask the Most High for mercy while you give birth. And praise the Most High for allowing you to give that experience. Love y'all and Shalawam. Hopefully that helped.